Okay, thanks for purchasing the class, and I'm going to go through the different cards that we made now. This is the first one on your flyer, and to do this one, I have pre-cut everything for you. So I've used all the dies to cut all your pieces. You should have everything you need except for a black ink pad and a saying. And you can use any saying that you want. I'm going to show you the ones I used, but you're welcome to choose whichever ones you need. For this one, my thanks came from the Ornate Thanks, which right now is something that you can get. It's the Ornate Gardens pre-order. This is going to be in the new catalog. So I used this thanks from here. And I also used the Poppy Moments dies. Now I know these are on back order right now, but hopefully there's a shipment on its way. Hopefully it'll be in soon, but this is the Poppy Moments. And I also used the rectangle stitched dies. And I used this for several of the different sayings. So I used this long skinny one here for this one, but for a couple of the other ones, you'll notice I also used this one. Okay, so let's get started. The base color for our card is Poppy Parade. And then I also used Whisper White. And I used the Painted Poppy Designer Series paper. And there is one sheet that has these on them. There's different colors and different pieces. And I just took the die and laid it over the area where I wanted to cut to make it look like the actual flower. So it doesn't match exactly, but it works well for this. So I'm going to start by folding my cardstock in half. And if you have questions when you're going through your cards, don't hesitate to contact me. Hopefully you all have my contact information. If not, my Gmail is kpeckstamp@gmail.com. And I notice a lot of people use a ton of the snail, so I'm going to just show you a little secret in case you're using your own snail. You really only need to use about 5 pieces on a piece like that. So just the corners and the center. If you use long strips along the whole thing, you're going to be calling me often for refills, and this will save you some money. So you don't need to use quite that much. So the next thing I'm going to do is put on my Designer Series paper, and this is from that same Painted Poppies set. And I'm just going to add that on there. And then I'm going to take my flowers, and I found it easiest to go ahead and put this on before I did the rest of it. So I'm going to just layer that where I want it, and now I'm going to put the overlay on it. To do this, with this one, there's a big enough piece that you can actually use your snail. And just a hint, if you're going to do a lot of using adhesive on your scrap paper and you don't want to get it all sticky, you can do this over a silicone mat, and that way the snail doesn't stick to your paper and make everything stick to that. So I find that really useful. So then you just line this up, go right over the top. And next you're going to use your centers. And for this, I actually used my pick tool. It comes in a package where it includes all of these items. It has a refill for the front. It has different ends of a stylus, and it has the actual thing itself. Now, there's a little lid. Be sure you keep track of this because this tip is extremely sharp. If you do happen to lose it, turn it around when it's in storage and have this one out so you don't cut yourself, because trust me, it doesn't feel good. So I'm just showing you this because if you need to pop out some of these, I tried to get a lot of them out so you won't have a lot of that to do, but in case that's still in there, you can use that. And then again, I'm just going to put that in the center and then put my little black piece over the middle. And all of these pieces are in that Poppy Moments set. So For the leaves, it actually comes with 2 different dies, so you can put different colors of paper. This is Mossy Meadow, and this is on your flyer too. This is the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to put it on top of the Old Olive. And don't worry if it's not exact. It ends up looking good anyway, so you'll notice mine is not going to be perfect. And that's going to slide right under the edge here. I'm going to put a little more adhesive. I found it easier to line up after, so if you want to put it down first, you can. If not, you can just pick up that edge a little bit and then stick it down. You might want to put a little adhesive underneath that top piece. And then we're ready for our second flower. And for this one, I did pop this up with some dimensionals. You'll notice when you open your package, there is a bag that has your special adhesives in it. So it has your Stampin' Dimensionals, it has a few glue dots, and so that'll be helpful for this part. Your Stampin' Dimensionals go, and you can put it wherever you like best. And then you can also use your adhesive, your snail here. If you would prefer, it's also great to use this multi-purpose glue, and you can just put a dot here and there where you want it. Don't squeeze too hard or you're going to get a lot. This glue is great for this kind of thing. It has a fine point on one side, and then if you wanted to do large areas, it also has a wide tip at the other end. Okay, so I'm just going to add that right over the top of that one. Hold it for a couple of seconds. And then last but not least, our saying. And for this one, again, I used that Ornate Thanks set, and I used the thanks from that, and the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And this is really the only pad you need for all 4 of these cards. I'm going to use it for every one of them. So, and don't worry if you don't have the same sayings that I do. Use whichever ones you do, and if you don't, you could even handwrite something on there. Oh, it's a little crooked, but that's okay. And again, for this one, I just popped it up on the back. And I have given you enough dimensionals for all 4 projects, so you should be fine unless you go crazy with them. And there is our finished card. And don't worry if that overlaps. You'll see each card might look a little bit different, but it's still going to look good in the end. And I did give you a piece to put inside the card too, so you should have another white piece to put inside. And that's all there is to the thanks card.